about 45 minutes from UCLA. What would it mean if you were to take the hill? I know it hasn't been officially announced yet, but what would that mean for you to take on a program that obviously you grew up around?
Yeah, it would mean a lot. Obviously, grew up going to those games. Honestly, just excited to pitch whenever my name is called here in the College World Series. Really cool, really cool accomplishment for our team just to be here. So just trying to enjoy every minute of it.
How often did you go to Bruin games?
I would honestly go a lot. Like when I was a teenager, I was like 13, 14 years old. I would try to go frequently with their season. Just watching those guys play.
So I'm guessing you have a memory of the 2013 College World Series. They beat LSU in Omaha.
Yeah, I mean, that was 2013. Yeah, so, yeah, a while ago.
How did it feel watching Cade on the mound last night for those 7 innings and 100 pitches?
Yeah, I mean, he's ridiculous. It was cool to watch. Just did his thing, really confident, especially on the platform that, we were playing on yesterday. Just really cool to see him be himself and really good foot forward for our pitching staff.
Was there ever a point in time where you could have gone to UCLA?
I mean, possibly maybe last year out of transfer portal, but yeah, other than that, not really.
How close were you to the campus there, the park?
From my hometown, like 45 minutes, so not too far. Just get on the freeway, go to the game. So
we talk a lot about patience for the hitters, and kind of waiting to find their pitch. Because for you, though, it's a different kind of patience because sometimes you find yourself in jam, but you always are able to work out of it. I'm trying to ask a really long question, so it's plain. Yeah, facts. But just the idea, like, it's, Jay always jokes about it, right? But, like, the idea that you always do kind of get into trouble and then get out of trouble. Like, how do you recognize that in the moment when you're like, all right, here's one of those tight spots where I got to work my way out of this? And then how do you go about doing that when you do find yourself in it?
yeah, I obviously hate being in trouble, but I think I've been in trouble so much that I learned how to navigate through it. I would say freshman year of college, didn't really have the results I wanted on the mound. And I think just having that experience from, that age, just being able to grow through that and keep working, I think that helped prepare me just for any situation that I see on the field. Now I'm not really caught off guard by, if there's bases loaded, nobody out, or first and second, nobody out. Been through that a lot.
Is there a routine that you kind of lean on in those situations, or is it just you and Louise, like, figuring it out together? Like, how do you kind of navigate that?
Yeah, I would definitely say just take more breaths, try to control my thoughts a little bit more. Not necessarily try to work slower, but just try to work more in control of myself and my mind and body.
How close were you to coming into the game last night?
I was waiting for Coach Johnson to call me in there. Yeah, I was ready. I love pitching in that moment. Ever since I have, this year it's been really fun.
And so you were fully warmed up, or at least close to fully warmed up. You were pretty hot at that point.
Yes, sir.
Have you paid attention at all to UCLA this year, or did you get a chance? Obviously, you didn't watch the game yesterday, but have you had a chance to see any film on them and their offense? Do you have any thoughts on their offense?
Yeah, I'm going to have to watch a little bit more today, but obviously West Coast style offense, pretty familiar with that playing, my freshman and sophomore year. They're going to be good hitters, lay off, good pitches that are, just outside of the zone, and they're going to be selective to their pitch, so it'll be fun to pitch against them if I do.
A little bit more grindy kind of offense. I mean, obviously you guys are working on infield defense today. You got to expect everything in that situation. How important is it to have those fundamentals on there, knowing you could be asked to make a play at any point in time?
Yeah, like you said, I just could expect more infield game from them, more short game. Like I said, they're just going to be a well-coached baseball team, so just about execution for us.
Is there anything that you took from that West Virginia small ball team to apply to UCLA?
Yeah, just throw more strikes, honestly. That's all I took from that.
Did Savage recruit you?
I talked to him a little bit, but nothing, seriously.
He spoke before the series about how they have pretty much a homegrown team. Do you know many of the guys on their team?
Yeah, I mean, just being from California, I've heard some names on their team. Not really close, only with like one or two of them maybe from summer ball and my team last year.
If you're officially announced as the starter, do you think you'll hear from some of your childhood friends about being able to go up against them in Omaha?
Yeah, for sure. I know a lot of my youth coaches, are UCLA fans, so they'll probably send me a text.
Will they be pro Anthony Eyanson or pro UCLA?
I hope so. I mean, I really do. I hope so.
Your composure has been something that's highlighted throughout the course of the year. How important is it here in Omaha to kind of keep it business as usual?
Yeah, I think it's really important just to remember that it's the same game. The scenery changes, but the game doesn't. And I think, the teams that really figured that out earlier are the ones that settle in.
The wind's blowing in the first 2 days. The park's playing big. Does that change anything that you do?
No, I mean, if anything, it just helps us, being able to be in the strike zone more, just knowing that we can get those fly ball outs.
Just with the performance that Cade had yesterday, how well does that set up the pitching staff, and how much confidence does that give you guys that pretty much have everybody but Cade tomorrow night?
Yeah, obviously helps us a lot knowing that some guys in the bullpen got to save their arms for games going forward. Just a really good job by him. Obviously, he was really prepared for that game, and it showed.
Do pitchers treat whether it's Braswell or a combination of Braswell, Milam, and Dickinson when they turn double plays? Do you buy them like a soft serve ice cream or something for those?
Yeah, we all take care of each other. I think that's a really cool part about this team is that everyone really cares about each other off the field, and it translates on the field as well.
You had said previously you take pride even in your PFPs, being a West Coast guy. Why?
I mean, it's part of the game. You can lose. I've seen, very close losses just off not being able to execute, those small details in the game. So I think that's really important for wanting to execute and win.
You take it, they got a yesterday's start from root where, if you walk a couple guys, make a couple mistakes, the game can really be decided on that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's just how the game goes. You have to be willing to execute on all those cylinders, and if you get behind in the count, the game will typically hurt you.
I guess I mean like in these kind of playoff games where everybody's good and it's one or two plays that might tip the game in these situations, how do you approach that maybe differently than you would otherwise?
Yeah, I would just say just a sharper focus on what you're doing, focusing on the little details, just knowing that those can be the factor in the game.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Get out there and get some work under you yesterday, I guess. What did you learn about it in the process?
Felt good. Obviously, the nerves were super high. First appearance in the College World Series, but glad I got the first one out of the way. Looking forward to many more appearances in the College World Series.
It's been a long road for you. How did it feel to actually finally get out there after it's been so close for you a couple of times?
Felt good. Dream come true. I always imagined playing in the College World Series. I always imagined playing in Omaha. So yeah, dream come true.
Backing up Cade, as masterful as he was there any pressure to just come in and make sure you sort of just kept that clean sheet up there?
For sure. I don't know if it was pressure, but obviously you want to come in prepared and do my best. So yeah, I try to do that every time.
And to that point, I mean, just watching Cade's performance, I mean, just what were your thoughts?
I mean, he's special. So every time I get a chance to watch something like that, it's always special. So I'm just grateful to be on the same team as him.
How were you able to settle in after that first pitch?
I mean, I really didn't do anything different. I think the first pitch was kind of a fluke, so just kind of, went back to my operation and just kind of, went back to, my preparation as well.
Only 10 pitches on the scorecard. How available would you be for tomorrow, or the next? When do you think will be the next time you can pitch?
Oh yeah, I'm 100% ready for tomorrow.
Chase, you mentioned that you feel good that you've gotten your first experience. Do you think that applies to the whole team, having gotten the game out of the way now? Y'all can maybe settle in a little bit?
Definitely, yeah. I think it's huge. I mean, especially against Arkansas, it's a great team. So to go in there and get that first W, that's huge for us.
What does it do for the confidence, I guess, and kind of moving forward, knowing you guys will be here a little while now?
I mean, I think our confidence is through the roof right now. We've been playing really well, so I think it does a lot for our confidence.
Just a performance like that from Cade, how well does that set the pitching staff up for the rest of this run?
Sets us up really good. I mean, he went 7 innings. We have everybody available for tomorrow besides him, so sets us up really good.
I talked to Casey and Cade, and they both said that they probably psyched themselves up a little bit more than what it was actually like out there on the mound. I guess what were your thoughts once you actually got out there and kind of saw what it was like?
Yeah, I would say a little bit of the same. I mean, obviously a lot of fans out there, but at the end of the day, it's just baseball, and you just got to go back to your preparation. And I think when I was running out there, I was kind of just pretending it was like I was at Alex's box, so just kind of pretending I was at the box and pitching in front of my home fans.
UCLA has a pretty hot offense as well. What have you seen from them? What's maybe the biggest thing that you have to watch for?
I haven't seen too much for them, so I can't really answer that. Yeah, I really don't know too much about UCLA, but I obviously know they're a good opponent. I mean, they're obviously in the College World Series, so we got to be prepared for them.
Obviously, you guys are working on your infield defense. I guess just how important is that, to do all the little things right when it matters?
Very important. I mean, we're in Omaha, so we gotta be 100%. We gotta be ready for the small ball plays, and yeah, we just gotta be ready for that.
motivating, or steak dinners?
Really motivating. I think we all like steak on this team, so we're just trying to win. Get us another steak in our belly.
What's the coolest thing you've done, I guess, outside of the baseball since you've been here?
I probably went to the zoo. Omaha's got a really nice zoo, so I got to see some giraffes, tigers, everything you can think of.
Favorite animal?
Favorite animal? Obviously a tiger.
How are you guys able to strike the balance between like being loose before the game and even maybe where you're playing, but also focusing when you need to and understanding the magnitude of the moment here?
I think it just comes with being an adult. I mean, we're all adults here. We all know what's at stake. So, I mean, once we're on that field, we kind of just flip a switch.
I know you can learn something from everybody on the staff. With Anthony going tomorrow, just what have you learned from him, and how excited are you to see him take this stage?
So excited. I can't wait to see him out there. I say the biggest thing I learned from him is composure. I mean, the way he carries himself on the mound, the way he gets out of jams, it's just, really inspiring to me.
In the later innings, guys were going up and down, just in the bullpen. How chaotic were things where everything just seemed like it was up in the air?
It wasn't really that chaotic. I mean, when your starter gives you 7 innings clean, kind of makes our job a little more easy.
What does it mean to you, I guess, to be here before and not have a chance, and then last year to be so close and not, get to a super, I guess, to be able to contribute on the team that's here in Omaha? What is that?
Yeah.
Battle.
It means everything. Just watching the 23 team was special, and just to, finally play here is a dream come true.
Kind of, do you think about all the rehab you did in those moments, or like how do you understand what it meant to get here versus not letting it get to you while you're here?
Yeah, definitely. I replay those nights a lot. All the rehab I did, all the work I did with Isaac and Bailey, all the trainers I, worked with. I'll cherish those times forever. But just to come out on the other side of that and play in the College World Series is truly special.
How are you preparing yourself in case you need to go out and start a game like you did in the season?
I mean, kind of just revert back to my preparation. I started, I don't know how many games, but it seemed like a lot at the beginning of the year. So I definitely know how to do it, and I definitely have the confidence for it.
Is that a hard thing to do after bullpen for so long, going back to starting?
I don't think so. I mean, just from starting at the beginning of the year to coming out of the pen, there's really not much to it. There's not a lot of difference to it. I mean, the only thing I could say is when you come out of the pen, you got to be a lot more locked in because you're coming in high-pressure situations. So that's really the only thing I can say about that.
Anything you've learned from this experience that if you do have to start, you could use and go back out there in a situation?
Yeah, I would say just for my intent to be 100% at the get-go. I feel like when I used to start, maybe I try to cruise into the start, try to go 5-7 innings. But if I get the ball on a start in the College World Series, I'm going 100% right from the first pitch.
Did you know you were the first pitcher in the College World Series to throw 100 this year?
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool, though.
Did you look at the radar at all after the strikeout?
Maybe once or twice, but I tried not to a lot.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys.
Thanks,
There you go.
Chase.
Thanks, Chase.